All right, I just got 2 thumbs up, which means we can begin. So, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here. This is a big day. I want to welcome the friends. I want to welcome the family members here, the coworkers of the class of 2019 to their graduation. I'm Adam Hanna. I'm the recruit warden supervisor, so I got to look after these folks for the last 5 months in the training academy. It's been a pleasure. Before we get started, I carry 2 cell phones. If you carry a cell phone, I'd like you to make sure it's on silent. If you would do that right now, that'd be great. I checked mine right before I got up here, so I think I'm good. If you would, please stand as we recognize and welcome the class of 2019. Please remain standing. We'll now have the presentation of the national and state colors by the Wisconsin Conservation Warden Honor Guard. Additionally, we'll have the national anthem sung by Conservation Warden Mary Bish.
Honor Guard. Detail. Halt. Order. Halt. Shoulder. Halt. Present. Halt.
All uniform staff, present. Up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the still there? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, halt!
All uniform staff. Order. Arm.
Detail, halt! Port, halt! Prepare to post the colors. Ready, post! Present, halt! Order, halt! Left, face. Forward, march.
You can go ahead and take your seat. Thank you. So for those that don't know me, I'm Jeremy Ploutz. I'm the training director for the Department of Natural Resources, Bureau of Law Enforcement. I welcome you today to our graduation event for the class of 2019. Before we begin our formal program, I would like to invite Chaplain Jeff Skinner up to the podium for our invocation.
In the history of the Department of Natural Resources, 7 have given the ultimate sacrifice. The 7 shields before me and the 7 Stetsons in the chairs to my left remind us of 7 lives given. It is appropriate that we honor them with a moment of silence. Thank you. Now, if I might, let me pray for these 11 that will soon be hitting the road. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, Creator, Psalm 24 tells us that the earth is yours. It belongs to you. These 11 that sit here today will soon become your stewards, wardens, to protect that creation. What a noble task. Protect them, I pray. If you send angels in camouflage to watch over them, that would be good, very good. Father, watch over their family and loved ones as well. They worry. When you send these wardens into dangerous circumstances, those who love them worry. Watch over their family and loved ones. Give them a powerful sense of peace that you've got their backs. I pray that these soon-to-be wardens will learn well the challenge of balancing authority given by you, and serving. It is very important. May they serve well. May they exercise authority well. I especially pray that they find great joy and satisfaction in doing the work that you have given them to do. Bless their efforts. Preserve the beauty of your glorious creation through the hands of these stewards. In the authority of your name, I ask these things. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. At this time, I'd like to introduce the graduating class of 2019. Please stand when I call your name. Charles Ackerman. Mary Bish. Michael Burns. Nicholas Engelhart. Zachary Feast. Isaac Hackett. Alec Hensler. Valerie Kinner. Jamin Luzo. Jarrett Mapes. And Audrey Royce. I would also like to extend our special greetings to a few dignitaries with us today. We have Preston Cole, DNR Secretary Nominee. I lost track of Preston. Preston, welcome. DNR Deputy Secretary Elizabeth Kleesner. Todd Schaller, Chief Conservation Warden. Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Daniel Kelly. Members of the Law Enforcement Management Team. Academy instructors in attendance today. State Patrol Superintendent Anthony Burrell. Jerry Mullen from Department of Justice Training and Standards. Dale Moss from the Conservation Congress. Our three members of the Honor Guard today are Jeremy Peary, Andy Lundeen, and Cody Adams. I would also like to extend a very special thank you to our Office of Communications. We are broadcasting live today through the DNR Facebook Live account. And welcome to all of those who join us on the World Wide Web. So on to the formal program. Our first speaker, I'd like to invite Chief Conservation Warden Todd Schaller up for comments.
Good afternoon and welcome to this special event. I can speak firsthand and special as 30 years ago I was in this same building and took the oath of office, and I still remember it, and I'm sure you will 30 years from now too. Before I get into my formal comments, Mary, great job with the national anthem. It's kind of like asking Aaron Rodgers to sing the national anthem before he plays football, isn't it? But you knocked it out of the park, so fantastic. Your attendance and support of the 11 stars of today's show, the Academy graduate, it means a lot to them. A special thanks to DNR Secretary Nominee Preston Cole and Deputy Secretary Elizabeth Kleesner for being part of this special day and your support of the graduates as they move forward with a career in law enforcement and public service. Parents and family, congratulations and thank you for supporting these young men and women in a way that contributes to their work ethic, their values, and character they possess today. You should be proud of your accomplishments and their performance. Spouses, partners, children, and friends, thank you for the patience and support you've provided. You're well aware how difficult the Academy is, and I know it creates different challenges for you. Our location day is fitting of this celebration, as these graduates enter a career of public service has a direct connection to this very building, the Wisconsin State Capitol. The Constitution you'll swear to uphold is connected to the Capitol. The laws you'll enforce come through the Capitol. And the citizens you serve is what this Capitol is all about. Who recalls their 4th grade Wisconsin history lesson or their tour of the Capitol? Anybody remember what the bronze statue on the top of the Capitol dome represents? The bronze lady holding an eagle in one hand and wearing a helmet with a badger on top represents the state motto, forward. So how does forward connect to today? It means dare to be great, not perfect, and strive to move forward by improving every day. It means changing as a part of moving forward and not a criticism of the past. Change is something you'll experience throughout your entire career. Being able to adapt and respond to our always changing world is necessary for us to move forward with success. Forward includes making mistakes, stumbling on the journey, having good days, having bad days. Don't dwell on it. Be accountable for it, learn from it, and move forward. Look at the amazing mural behind me. It's titled Wisconsin. It was painted by Edwin Blasfield, representing the past, present, and future of our Wisconsin. In the upper center, the woman seated on the rock is Wisconsin, and she is surrounded by 3 women representing the great water resources bordering the great state of Wisconsin: the Mississippi River, Lake Superior, and Lake Michigan. Talk about a great connection to your new role with the Department of Natural Resources. It doesn't stop there. On my right, your left, you'll see conservation. She's pointing to the tree, asking Future to preserve Wisconsin's natural resources. Another connection to your new role in carrying out the DNR mission of protecting and enhancing our natural resources, providing a healthy and sustainable environment, ensuring the right of all people to enjoy and use Wisconsin's great resources, and working with the public and in partnership consider the future and generations to come. In closing, I'd like to say a couple things. First off, when you work hard and maintain a balanced and healthy life. Your health, your family and friends, and your faith are the priorities in life. Every minute of every day, you will have an impact on the public we serve, maybe by how you look, how you communicate, how you act, and oftentimes you'll have no idea how powerful that impact may be. I'd ask you always look for opportunities to make this be a positive impact and a lasting positive impression of law enforcement community, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, the Bureau of Law Enforcement, and yourself. You'll soon take the oath of office from Supreme Court Kelly, an oath the public trusts us to honor. As you stand with your right hand held high, I ask that you think about our agency values: professionalism, respect, integrity, collaboration, and customer service, and how these core values align with your responsibility as a law enforcement officer. They are values that must be at the center of how we act, what we do, and the decisions we make. If you honor that oath, honor your values, your badge will always shine. Good luck, and be more than safe. It's my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, DNR Secretary Nominee Preston Cole.
Good afternoon, friends and family. Thank you for joining us here today, and congratulations to our new recruits. Public safety is important for the Department of Natural Resources, and consequently, we'll have class after class as we've now rolled out new circumstances relative to public safety in our state parks. That work now will be done alone by our conservation wardens. And that's important for us because you're the guardian of fun for folks who visit. And so if you didn't know, outdoor recreation in the state of Wisconsin is a very robust economy. It is a $18 billion a year hit to the local economy. So we appreciate those folks who come from near and far to recreate in the state of Wisconsin. And again, public safety is paramount so that they can come back. But public safety alone isn't all that they'll be able to do. They'll be doing a lot more. And prior to me coming to Wisconsin, I worked for the Department of Conservation in Missouri and had been involved in other types of activities for resource protection. Resource protection for folks who want to do harm in our woods by taking timber that doesn't belong to them. There were folks that would come up from Tennessee to Missouri and submerge propane tanks in the Merrimack River on mussel beds. And then at night, they would use scuba gear to hook up and then clean out that mussel bed from the Merrimack River and take that back to Tennessee. Who knew that was a thing, right? And they'd get paid about $5,000, and this type of stuff went towards mother-of-pearl buttons. So there's always someone lurking, trying to do harm to resource protection. Paddlefish is another example where folks were electroshocking paddlefish during spawning, and a pint of paddleship eggs is $350 that made its way to the marketplace in Chicago and New York City. So we always have to be on the lookout, not for folks who only want to, do harm, but certainly to remind us that people come to Wisconsin to enjoy our resources. They come from near and far, and that's going to be part of your role to protect those individuals as well. So it's a great day for Wisconsin as we congratulate these new law enforcement officers seated before us today. We congratulate their family, their friends who have supported them along the way. Behind every warden, every great warden, are their friends and family, and they're here to join you as well. Graduating from the Academy today are 11 new conservation wardens for the Department of Natural Resources. Graduation from the Academy takes work, a lot of work, along with discipline, dedication, and a genuine commitment. It was a rigorous challenge. The curriculum was hard, consisting of tactical training, laws and policies, interpersonal and community relation techniques, how to get along with folks. The Academy is a great example of the DNR program for integration, interagency cooperation, and state and local tribal relationships. The courses are held at the State Police Academy, taught by instructors from wardens, local law enforcement, State Patrol, the Great Lakes Indian and Fish Wildlife Commission, and we owe them all a debt of appreciation and gratitude. Not only does that mean that these graduates had outstanding instruction, it also saves us a lot of money to use our partners to help train. That's how government ought to work. Saving money, relationships. These wardens will represent the Department of Natural Resources. You are our most visible employee. That comes with a lot of responsibility. Every day you go to work, you will interact directly with a diverse community, but you have to excel at public safety, protecting and managing our natural resources, and supporting the economy and the well-being of our citizenry. As you go about achieving this mission, I'd ask this group to step up and step out and keep a few things in mind. Have a service heart. Pick yourself up and turn yourself around and put yourself in other folks' shoes. That service heart. If you don't have a service heart, you're merely doing task. And because you're going to be graduates, I know each and every one of you have a service heart. You do this on the behalf of the great citizens of the state of Wisconsin, and we appreciate that. Strive to achieve quality in customer service. Seek out those opportunities to serve public in new ways, improve our customer satisfaction because you are the face of this organization. Listen to the voices in our community. Promote integration within the department. Work closely with your internal partners and programs. Equally, encourage diversity and inclusiveness with all our communities. Make fiscally responsible decisions. And that's just not, am I going to McDonald's today or am I going to the steakhouse? Save some of that money, because this is well-paying jobs, am I right? Absolutely. Make good decisions, communicate effectively, foster good relationships, exercise leadership, be service-oriented, and above all, be safe. Your careers are full of potential as new wardens. We will be giving opportunities to pass this on to others that follow. As you go through your careers, seek out leadership roles. Become a natural-born leader. Have people follow in your footsteps. Success in your future means success in the department. Continued wise stewardship of our natural resources, because we're all in this together. It is with a debt of gratitude as your secretary. I am honored to be before you. Congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Preston. We're going to move on now to our awards portion of the ceremony. I would like to ask Chief Warden Schaller to come up again, and if Preston could remain on stage for the presentation. And we will have presentations by Academy Director John Moore.
Excuse me. Good afternoon. My name is John Moore. I am the Academy Director. I've had the honor and privilege for about the last 5.5 months, myself and Adam Hanna, of living with these fine people to my right over here. It's been interesting. I think that's the best word that I can use. It's been interesting. Just thinking back, writing some notes down, you know, watching recruits or a specific recruit fall down, hurt himself over and over again for no apparent reason was interesting. Learning about saving turtles as a hobby and listening to the same recruit laugh uncontrollably every time a certain video is played. Constantly trying to find out who is number one at everything. It's been an interesting 5.5 months, but they've been good times. To the families, thank you very much for loaning us your loved ones. It's not easy being away from home. It's not easy giving them up. Week after week, day after day, things go on at home that they miss. We really appreciate it, appreciate the support that you have given them. Without your support, many of them probably wouldn't have been able to do what they're doing, and they wouldn't be sitting here today. So thank you very much to the family members that are here. Just a couple of things to the recruits. This is not the end of something, it's the beginning of a rewarding, oftentimes frustrating and sometimes heartbreaking career. Take what you've learned and remember, as the Secretary Nominee said a few minutes ago, remember that you're a public servant. Never lose sight of who you work for. Don't do anything to break the trust that the public has in you, in your position. Always remember that you have 3 priorities: your faith, your family, and your friends. I've said this over and over during the academy. I've tried to live it by example. Your faith, your family, and your friends come before everything else. The rest of what you do just fills in the blanks. Keep what's important important. You're a great group of people. I really look forward to working with you in the future. With that being said, I'm going to get into the awards. Everybody is up here. The first award that I'm going to be announcing here is the Scholastic Award. A Scholastic Award is given to the recruit from the class who has achieved the highest grade point average on the 3 Department of Justice Training and Standard Bureau exams. The tests, the Academy class is given in phases, phase 1, 2, and 3. At the end of those phases, there is an exam that's given that tests the material that was presented in that phase. Each phase builds on itself, and the tests are given at the end of each phase, and they all have very clearly worded, well-written questions. Correct? Correct. This class average is something to be extremely proud of. You need to be proud of yourselves. The class average for all 3 of those exams is a 92.8. That was our average for everybody throughout the entire class. 0.02% separated the top 2 people in the class. So at this time, with an overall test average of 95.75, I'd ask Mary Bish to come forward and receive the Scholastic Award. 95.75, that's an accomplishment. The next award is going to be what's called the Tactical Proficiency Award. Each Academy class program gives out what's called a tactical award to the recruit who is the most tactically proficient during all phases of the tactical training programs. This award can be either given to a recruit who has outshined all others in these areas, or to the recruit who made the most progress during the programs, or the most improvement during the training process. The areas include firearms, defense and arrest tactics, emergency vehicle operations, professional communications, tactical response, and tactical emergency critical care or casualty care. The recipient of this award is chosen by the training team after receiving input from all tactical instructors for the Academy program. So every single program that we do, all of the tactical instructors have an opportunity to have a say in this. The person receiving this award, some of the comments that I received back were, it says, showed a good work ethic, really focused on the training. Sought out feedback, and you could tell that they wanted to get better. Had a great attitude during DAT training, even though hurting at times, and still did everything we asked to the best of their ability. And, oh, by the way, they took an OC exposure. So this last comment is mine, and it's going to give it away. The comment that I had to throw in there was the person receiving this award jujitsu'd or ninja'd an instructor who might or might not have actually deserved what they got. So at this time, I'd like Jamin Liuza to come up and receive the tactical award. For anybody that was there that day, it was an interesting experience for that instructor. All right, so the last award is going to be the Secretary's Award, and I would ask Secretary Nominee Preston Cole to come back to the podium, please.
The Secretary's Award. By secret ballot, Mary, come on up. Mary had a kind of that freak out look on her face when she, well done, young lady, well done. Mary started at the Academy during orientation week by organizing an off-duty get-together for everybody. She quickly stood out. She became the contact person for Academy staff and other recruits. Mary is, from day one, has had a very positive attitude during the training process, always a joyful person to be around, displayed I-can-do attitude. She deserves that you go girl attitude. I appreciate that. Never stops trying, never settles until she succeeds. Of the several battles in the class, people wrote down Mom in parentheses. Seemingly, you are an obvious choice for the Secretary's Award. On behalf of the 2,500 employees of the Department of Natural Resources, congratulations.
Thank you, Preston, Todd, John, and Mary. Congratulations. So next we will have our 2018 Recruit Class Secretary Achievement Award recipient, Dylan Belil. He will come up and deliver the Natural Resources Law Enforcement Officer Pledge with the 2019 class.
provide maximum protection to all of Wisconsin's natural resources, and enforce all laws within my jurisdiction. It is my duty to serve mankind and to strive to obtain public compliance with these laws. It is my responsibility to protect the constitutional rights of all people as I carry out my duties. Never act officious or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. I will avoid unnecessarily injuring or endangering the reputations of persons under investigation. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously, and my approach will be friendly and appropriate without fear or favor, malice or ill will, being diligent in my performance of duties when and wherever assigned, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I will never use any abusive language or ridicule any persons with whom I have contact or use my authority for any purpose other than what it is intended. Protect whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature, or that which is confided to me in my official capacity, will be kept confidential unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duties. Endeavor to keep my private life as a good example to maintain calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. I will be honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations and policies of my department. As a symbol of public faith, and I accept it, as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the oath of office and code of ethics sustained in the Department of Policies and Procedures Manual. I will strive constantly to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself to my chosen profession, the enforcement of the natural resource laws of this state.
Thank you, Dylan. And notice the trend. Mary, we'll see you next year. Free up your calendar, please. So next we will have the presentation of the completion certificates and the challenge coins. I'd like to invite Chief Warden Todd Schaller to come up and tell us about the history and the significance of the Warden challenge coins.
I'm sure some of you were somewhat puzzled when you saw on the program a challenge coin and what that is or meant. And there's plenty of history and story and tradition behind the challenge coin. And it really goes back to ancient Rome in a time when if a soldier performed well in battle, they were recognized and would receive their standard pay. But in addition to that, they would get additional pay, and that came in the form of a specially minted or marked coin. And historically, that then some of those officers and soldiers wouldn't even spend that. They would just keep it as a memento of their work and efforts. The modern day challenge coin is often connected to the military, fire, EMS, law enforcement communities to show a common bond and esprit de corps within an agency, team, or a unit. I do have to tell you, there is a tradition with the challenge coin, though, and it's called the coin check. So if a member of your team or unit, and you're gathered around, displays their challenge coin and taps it on the table, maybe the bar, if any members who are present didn't have their medallion or the coin, they have to buy the drink for the challenger and for anyone else who had their coin. The risks of that is if you challenge someone and they have their coin and challenge it back, then you're the buyer of that drink. So, but it means a little bit more for us. It's really a reminder of our values and the role that we play. So the challenge coin that they will receive, on it lists our values. So it's a reminder. Professionalism, respect, integrity, collaboration, customer service. And it's a reminder that these values serve as our moral compass directing the decisions we make and how we act both on and off duty. It also highlights it's about doing the right thing at the right time, in the right way, and for the right reasons. So carry it proudly.
Thanks, Todd. So I was caught off guard once, and I welcome any contenders. So now for the presentation of the certificates. When I call your name, please come up to the stage to receive yours. Charles Ackerman. I missed one key piece. If I could ask Justice Kelly, Secretary Nominee Cole, and Deputy Secretary Kleesner, and Deputy Chief Brooks to form a receiving line off to my left. Thank you. Mary Bish. Michael Burns. Nicholas Engelhardt. Zachary Feast. Isaac Hackett. Alec Hensler. Valerie Kinner. Jamin Luzo. Jarrett Mapes. Audrey Royce. Yes, you can all be seated. Thank you. So next, we're going to ask Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Daniel Kelly to come up and administer the oath of office. Thank you, Justice.
Before we do the oath of office, I have a few words I'd like to share with you. This is me. However, they put the microphone here, so it's also with all of them. Is that all right? All right. So there are 11 of you here, and that tells me that there are 11 unique paths that you followed to reach this point this afternoon, prepared to take the oath of office. But I know that there are some parts of this that are common to all of you. At least I think I do. Let me see if I get it right. I think perhaps that each of you share a love of the Wisconsin outdoors, a passion for the resources of the state that we all hold in common, and a desire to protect it for the benefit of all. Am I right? All right. Now, surely you know this already. I won't be telling you anything new. Not everybody can do what you are about to do. And I don't mean just the classroom work or the field work. I mean something much more important. That's character. And I know that each of you, to get to this point, have been required to exhibit honesty and drive and determination, curiosity, confidence, assertiveness, and professionalism. I also understand that you're expected to be comfortable giving public presentations. Not a natural skill by any means. Now, Mary Bish has demonstrated that already and made it look easy. Mr. Hackett, I understand that you'll be giving us our next demonstration of comfort in giving public presentations, and I look forward to that. And I'm certain you will do quite well. So we are about to do the oath of office, and as part of that oath, you will be swearing allegiance and a dedication to upholding the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin. Embedded in that oath that you will be taking is another character element that I'm sure that you all understand implicitly through your training, and that is this. Upon the completion of the oath, there will be an immense amount of power and authority placed in your hands. But it is not yours. It is on loan to you from the people of Wisconsin. They have put their trust and their confidence in the people who have put together the training program, that they would find people who would understand that relationship between the people of Wisconsin and those who are committed and sworn to serve and protect them and their resources. And so is that immense amount of authority and power rests in your hands. I ask that you consider one of the primary elements of an excellent law enforcement officer, and that is humility, and understanding that you and I, because we both swore a very similar oath, that we are servants, and we serve the people of Wisconsin. Now, the good news is we have an excellent boss. The people of Wisconsin are magnanimous, they are generous, they are kind, they are giving, they are forgiving, they are gracious. They are wonderful people to serve. As I have found that, I trust that you will as well. Now, if you are ready to accept this profound responsibility, please rise and raise your right hands and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Wisconsin. And as a conservation warden of the Department of Natural Resources, I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office. To the best of my ability. And at all times conduct myself. In a manner befitting the public trust. So help me God. Congratulations.
You guys can be seated. Thank you, Justice Kelly. Very fitting based on our discussions in class about public value. So for our last speaker is a class-elected speaker, Isaac Hackett. I'd like to invite Isaac up for a few comments.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to address you on the behalf of my classmates today. Over the last 5.5 months, this group has been through a lot. From constitutional law to active shooter training, defense and arrest tactics, crash investigation, sexual assault investigation, mixed in with dog identification, ATV, UTV, snowmobile, fishing laws, hunting laws, you name it, and we've been through it. And I don't think that people realize how much stuff we actually go through in such a short period of time. If that was enough to make your head spin, trust me, it had our head spinning at times too. On top of this, the added stress of 3 exams at the end of each phase with hundreds of questions, dozens of scenarios, all coming to head within these last 2 weeks. Thankfully, we all passed. And we're standing before you today. But it was by no luck or miracle. This group is unique. It has been amazing to see how each and everyone at this academy has grown and learned over the past month. Everyone has their own unique talents, and each person utilized them for the good of the group. It has been wonderful to see this group turn from acquaintances to friends and to family. And I don't doubt anyone would give the shirt off their back to anyone in this class in need. Now, all the times are not sunshine and rainbows, as my classmates can attest. There were chipped teeth, sweat, bruised knees, sprained ankles, me personally being the victim of most of those. I've witnessed nerves making people almost nauseous, sleepless night at the academy. Even seasoned officers have been doing the job for years with some level of uneasiness. And it was never because any of them didn't have the skills and mental fortitude to overcome anything that came their way. It wasn't because they didn't have courage or tenacity, because they had it in spades. It was because they care. They care deeply. They care about the natural resources of the state. They care about the people who use and enjoy them. And they don't want to be just mediocre, but they want to be the best that they can. Everything that everyone has done in this academy, they are doing to have a fulfilling and successful career. No one here walked through the motions. We all strive for excellence, and that's a great atmosphere to be a part of. But here, all the hard work is paid off. Forward we move to continue to learn and grow. This is not the end, but a new beginning. To my classmates, thank you for the journey. It has been fun and rewarding ride. If you ever need anything, I hope not only I, but all of you will support each other as we continue on in our training. May God bless and keep you all safe. To all the DNR staff who made this academy possible, not everyone is here today, but I want to sincerely thank you. No small deed went unnoticed, and there were many deeds that contributed to our success. It is encouraging to know that I work for an agency that cares so much about its employees and its future. Everyone who sacrificed time out of their busy schedules coming from all corners of the states to help us. We owe you a debt of gratitude. I especially want to thank John Moore and Adam Hanna because they were directing and leading our academy on a daily basis. And to David Allen, who's in here somewhere today as well, a teacher who had a real impact and was an excellent instructor to us, who we wanted to especially mention. Lastly, to the family members of this academy class, thank you for supporting us through this journey. I personally want to thank my wife, Misha, for without her love and support, I wouldn't stand where I do today. Please join me one last time and one more thank you to all the staff that helped out, and a round of applause for the graduating class of 2018.75. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thanks, Isaac. I just have a couple more things, and then we're moving towards the end of the program today. So, today is always a day of great pride for me personally. I'm proud to keep that coin in my pocket. Contenders welcome. I'm proud to be a law enforcement officer. I'm proud to be a conservation warden and a member of the Department of Natural Resources. I'm reminded every year at this event, through the speakers' stories, some of the work that Preston mentioned that wardens do and the agency does that folks may not always be thinking about. Sometimes responding to floods, snowstorms, but sometimes those tasks are smaller, and it can be as simple as brokering a new fishing pole for a youngster who broke his while fishing alongside of a river. The adventure that you're about to start down is truly amazing. I'm also very proud to be a member of the team that puts this on. I think several of the speakers have mentioned that it's no small task. There's a lot that goes into this. I want to thank a few folks, and then I want to tell you about an assignment that the class did here in the last few weeks, and then we'll go to a close. Instructors, I can't say enough about the work that you do. Hopefully you're watching online if you couldn't make it today, or you're sitting in the back in an honor guard uniform, or maybe you're up in the balcony somewhere. Thank you for all the work that you do. It is very hard work, and you guys are truly amazing at it. Thanks to the supervisors and coworkers of the instructors who support significant absences from their stations. The calls keep coming in, and the work still needs to get done, and those folks always pick it up, and they do a great job. Thanks to the State Patrol Academy staff. Our academy occurs at their facility, and they've always been there for us. They've been a very reliable partner over the years, and Superintendent Burrell, they do a great job. Thank you. Another partner is the Great Lakes Indian Fish and Wildlife Commission. They've partnered with our academy for years, and we appreciate them sending instructors for us too. Adam and John, I know it's been mentioned, the recruit supervisor and the academy director have a significant amount of time with the class throughout this 5 months or so, and they experience those triumphs and challenges right alongside them, and probably feel some of those triumphs and challenges personally at times. So thanks for the leadership that you two provide. Members of the training section, thanks for the work that you do. Shortly after the class started back in October or so, the planning for the next academy occurred, as well as the planning for this event started occurring at that time. So thanks for all the work that you folks do. There are many others who provide behind-the-scenes support. Robin Larson, Charles Nettesheim, Katie Grant, those in the Office of Communications, those who help with logistics, getting us computers, other equipment, on and on, the list goes on. I remember, I think I may have missed Brent in there. I think 7 years ago we hatched the idea to stream this live, and it's been 7 graduations already, so thank you for being a reliable partner in that. Special thanks to the families of the candidates. We know that you supported them through thick and thin with this. You delivered to us, most importantly, and the citizens of Wisconsin, friendly, respectful, kind, truly joyful people to be around. They're all things that we could never teach them. So thank you for what you've done. I can't thank everybody else and not the class. So thanks to you guys too. You guys deserve kudos as well. Your hard work and attention over the past few months didn't go unnoticed, so thanks for all of that. So I mentioned I wanted to tell you about an assignment that we had the class do. So a few weeks ago, we asked them to write a few sentences about what they would want said about them at their retirement party or their last day of work. So they all provided an email or a document that had a few things that they wanted to be remembered for. And we did this so that they would start thinking about the reasons why they chose this work and what they're going to do to make sure that it's meaningful for them. They came up with a few words that you probably would expect. They wanted to be known as professional, fair, hardworking, and having a passion for the natural resources. But there were also a few common themes that I wanted to tell you about that the class had come up with. It's been said before, but the class caught it. They know how important trust is. They consistently mentioned in their statements how they wanted to be known as someone who was trusted. They used words like being reliable, fair, having integrity and honesty. They talked about that, the importance of having trusting relationships with the public, their coworkers. I hope you guys never forget how important that trust is, but you also understand that it can be very fragile as well. Handle with care. They said they wanted to be known for having a positive attitude, and I found it interesting that they specifically called out this one a number of times. It makes me wonder what happened in the academy. But they noticed the importance of it. So if you want to be negative, I'm sure you'll find plenty of reasons why you should be. And I will challenge you to find ways to stay positive. Staying positive is going to help you through the tough times. And besides that, it really tends to be contagious and it rubs off on others. Several of them mentioned how their dad taught them their appreciation for the outdoors. They followed those statements up with other comments about how they want to instill that appreciation in others that they come in contact with. I suppose that kind of thinking really applies to all of us, whether we're parents, coaches, other mentors. We don't always know the example that we're setting. We don't know who's watching. We don't know the role model that we might be setting for someone along the way, so take that job seriously as you go. And I'll offer one last piece of advice. You know, while you're out there, a lot of people are going to tell you how great this job is. They're going to say, I wish I had your job. It must be so great to be a warden, to be outside every day. And they're right. It is a great job. But remember that the job is not the achievement. The job, the title that you have, the work that you do is a responsibility. The achievement is going to be what you choose to do with that responsibility, how you treat people, and the service that you provide them. I would encourage you to save your retirement comments, the ones that you provided to me, share them with someone that you trust so that you're held accountable to those, and let them serve as a constant reminder of the idealism that you hold today. Our academy is complete. We welcome you as coworkers, wardens, and more importantly, friends. Audience, please stand and join me in congratulating the graduating members of the 2019 DNR Law Enforcement Academy. Immediately after the close of the ceremony, there will be photo opportunities with the Honor Guard. We'll also be meeting for dinner and a class presentation at the Hilton Garden Inn at 5 p.m. Please remain standing while the Wisconsin Conservation Warden Honor Guard retrieves the state and national colors and the class files out of the room. Thank you.
Honor Guard, attention.
All uniform staff, up, and
Forward, forward, march. detail, halt. Present, halt. Order, halt. Prepare to retrieve the colors. Left, face. Forward, march.
Our program is complete. Thanks for coming, everyone, and have a good evening.